And now our continuing series on the greatest artist of all time. At number 68, The Temptations. In 2004, in the Rolling Stone magazine, Rod Stewart wrote, "I was on holiday with my parents in the late 60s when I heard I Wish It Would Rain. I lived in England where it bloody rains all the time, so it was appropriate. But that's also when I fell in love with David Ruffin's tenor. It jumped out of the speakers and ravished my soul." Whether it was Ruffin or Dennis Edwards or Eddie Kendricks or Paul Williams singing lead, the Temptations were always an all-star vocal band. Throughout the 60s and the 70s, they had an unprecedented string of hits: My Girl, The Way You Do the Things You Do, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, Just My Imagination, and later on, they broke ground with the psychedelic soul of Cloud Nine. I remember listening to the hi-hat rhythms on that record over and over with the guys in the Jeff Beck group. We'd try to change every one of our songs to try and capture their drum beats. When I got home from the holidays, I immediately bought I Wish It Would Rain. At that time, I was very much into folk music and turning the corner into R&B, and I'll never forget seeing that cover with all the Temptations dressed as foreign legionnaires sitting in the desert. Their outfits were wonderful. I blame them for teaching me to wear loud colors. They also came up with the cutting-edge dance routines. Nobody moved like the Temptations. I'd later become friends with David Ruffin. When our bands would play in Detroit, Ruffin would come to every show and we'd sing I Know I'm Losing You. It was a Temptations cover off my album Every Picture Tells a Story. His voice was so powerful, like a foghorn on the Queen Mary. He was so loud. Rod Stewart concludes, "My children grew up loving the Temptations, and we tried to see them every time they came to town. They'd always pick me out of the audience with a spotlight, trying to get me to come up on stage, but I never did. I'm too frightened." Our song for today is Wish It Would Rain. It's the title track for their 1968 album. It was the final release from the group's Classic Five era, with David Ruffin, Eddie Kendricks, Paul Williams, Melvin Franklin, and Otis Williams. It was the last Temptations solo album to focus on the classic Motown sound, and the last to feature the production of Smokey Robinson. Of course, the instrumentation provided by the Funk Brothers. The song was written by Norman Whitfield, Barrett Strong, and the lyrics by Roger Penzabene. Certainly one of the saddest songs in their repertoire, and more so than a number of other Motown songs, there's real sentiment and pain behind the song's words. Lyricist Penzabene had just found out that his wife was cheating on him with another man. Unable to deal with the pain and unable to stop loving his wife, he expressed his pain in the lyrics of the song. He committed suicide on New Year's Eve, 1967, just a week after the song was released. It's our continuing series on the greatest artists of all time. And at number 68, The Temptations.
Found another and gone away with her in my future. My life is filled with gloom. So day after day, I stay locked up in my room. I know to you, it might sound strange, but I wish it would rain.